Hey everyone, I'm back here for Urbex in Troy, Michigan for another closing Macys. This time it's at the Oakland Mall, another one of my childhood malls, and we're gonna check out this Macys because it's got some really cool architecture inside, because this store used to be a J.L. Hudson's. Yes, the famous J.L. Hudson's from Detroit that we had all over the place, and I never got to experience the main downtown store, but I do remember shopping at this when it was Hudson's, then Marshall Field's, and then Macys. So come on, let's go. It's freezing again.
Another store from my childhood closing once again. This time, one of the original J.L. Hudson's locations. We had bunches of them all throughout the Detroit metro area, and I'd like to say this was a very hard video to film, and while, yes, it was very sad and hard to walk through for the very final time of being inside this historic store, it's just, lately I've become kind of numb. Have you guys just become numb to everything that's going on? Like, just with everything just being doom and gloom and depressing and can't afford anything, everything's closing left and right, and you just feel like you want to sit down on the floor and have a tantrum and just say, close it all already, just get it done and over with. End it. I don't know, that's just how I feel, like a little child that wants to throw a tantrum. But anyways, we're going to take an entire tour of this old J.L. Hudson's, now Macys, that's closing here at the Oakland Mall. And then we'll come back as the sales winding down toward one of the final days. This has to be one of my favorite J.L. Hudson stores, later becoming Marshall Field's, and then eventually this Macys that you're looking at today. And that's because it retained a lot of the original decor from when it was J.L. Hudson's. You'll see this chandelier hanging from the ceiling. If I remember right, that was original from the Hudson store, as well as all of the kind of pink mauvish countertops throughout the makeup department. Those were all original from the 1980s. I vividly remember those, and it just takes you back to when America was great, and we're losing that left and right. It's rapidly disappearing at an alarming rate, so much so that I can't even remember some of the great times that we had back in the day. But it's just great walking through that makeup department. Here you can see out into the Oakland Mall. I wanted to go out and film looking back at the entrance to the Macys, and according to Google, it said that the mall was open till 9, but apparently it closed at 8 and the Macys stayed open till 9, so we'll have to wait until my second trip to this Macys to get to see what the entrance looks like. But just, man, I can't get over walking through this store and being able to just point out all the things that I can remember from my childhood that are still just sitting there untouched. Back in the day, in the early to mid-2000s, I can vividly remember my mom and I making the 45-minute or so drive from the western suburbs of the Detroit area over here to Oakland Mall in Troy, Michigan, to shop at this Macys. And the reason that we came over here it was Hudson's and then Marshall Field's, like I said before. But anyways, we would always come over here because the clientele that they were serving was more urban. So you would get a lot of that urban flair and urban style in the clothing and in the jewelry, and OMG, the jewelry. It was like that blingy stuff. You'd get a lot of that really cool stuff that you just didn't see at a lot of the other department stores. And, of course, costume jewelry, because I've never really been into diamonds or emeralds or, any of that. I kind of think that's just a waste of money. Now, gold and silver, that could be another topic. But anyways, we're about to take a look at that jewelry department, and I can't thank my mom enough for taking the time to specifically drive over to this location so that we could share in some great memories together and just spend time together. And I know it might sound weird that I was interested in coming all the way out here for a jewelry department, but you know, guys can like jewelry too. End of discussion. Anyways, so I think that's all I have to say on that topic, but I will pop back in off and on when I have something really cool to point out that's been with the store for a long time or something from my childhood that I remember. Oh, never mind on that one because we're about to take a ride on the escalator and we're going down, way down into the bargain basement. Yes, you are not being deceived. No, this isn't the Emerald City. But it is pretty amazing because the men's department is down here, and pretty much everything down here is all original from when this was Hudson's. The flooring, the lighting, just awesome. I think they have repainted, but still, I just love the wood floors and the lights that are here, and that emerald green tile is just gorgeous. So I had a really great time walking around the men's department and checking some stuff out, like this gold shirt we're going to look at. Totally would have bought that if it was in my size. Oh man, awesome. Now we're going to head down this corridor, and if I remember right, this is where all of the employee stuff was, so the offices. Also, I think the optical was back here, which was kind of weird, but this is where you could apply for a job, and they have these paintings here at the end that are of Flint, which I kind of find strange because Flint isn't a part of the Detroit metro area, and we're definitely in the Detroit metro area. So that picture on the right was of Flint Vehicle City, so just kind of strange. Anyways, but always love going down some of these corridors because you can find some real hidden gems. I'm also a huge fan, and it's not just this Macys, because I've been into a lot of Macys where you can wander around the store and find like giant paintings or photographs of different landmarks from the city. Maybe it's the skyline of the city that you're in, or some kind of a famous landmark. Like you can see here, this is downtown Detroit, and it's awesome looking. But now that we've seen the men's department and all of its glory, I think we're going to head upstairs to the crown jewel of the entire store, because I had forgotten that this thing even existed. And when I saw it, I just about fell down on the floor and cried, because it is probably the greatest remnant of the J.L. Hudson's department store that still exists, that regular old people can go and see. And I kind of scratched my head after picking myself up off the floor and was like, oh no, what's going to happen to this humongous World War II Hudson's Memorial? This is all the people that worked at Hudson's, J.L. Hudson's department store, that served in World War II. And it should literally be on the historic landmarks register, and maybe it is, but I mean, that is just incredible to see that. I do have some good news regarding this memorial, and we will get to that later on in the video. Leave a comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are on this old J.L. Hudson's, later Marshall Field's, and now Macys. What do you think of the way that it looks and just kind of the overall feel? And maybe you shopped at this back when it was J.L. Hudson's. Do you remember it as J.L. Hudson's? I'd love to hear all of your stories down in the comment section below. But I think that's going to just about do it for trip number 1 here to this Macys. And this was toward the beginning of the closing sale, when I did a huge Michigan road trip to kind of document all of the closing Macys that were in Ohio and Michigan, as well as a few malls. So look for those to come in the near future. Thank you everyone for all of your support, because it's helping me to continue to produce videos just like this. If you want to learn how you can monetarily help support the future of video, there will be links on screen at the end of the video and down in the description box below for member-exclusive content and so much more. So now I think we'll head on to trip number 2, because we'll get to actually see what the inside of the mall looks like a little bit and the entrance to this Macys. So yeah, here you can see this is what Oakland Mall looks like, and there's the mall map. Funny thing, this Forever 21 right next to the Macys was also going through its closing sale. Now, I visited this again in March, and it only had 6 days left. This was almost even harder to see than my first trip to this Macys, and that's because the first trip it kind of still resembled, you know, the normal store and everything, but now reality is setting in hard that this is the final time I'm ever going to set foot in this store. Yeah, I know. Just kind of take it all in. And the echoing music throughout the place. If you want to hear all the original sound from this trip, you can check out the Raw and Real edition. I have it posted over for members on Patreon as well as YouTube, and there are links down below in the description box and at the end of the video. This time I was up in Michigan with a coworker celebrating my birthday in Frankenmuth, Michigan. So say hi to Deb, everyone. I know you like seeing her in my videos. She's been in a few of them before. And if you haven't been to Frankenmuth before, shame on you. It's like a Bavarian-style town. It really feels like you're in Germany. I have videos on Frankenmuth in the Traveling Man playlist if you'd like to watch it after this one. As I rounded the corner and made my way over to the historic J.L. Hudson's World War II Memorial, a huge sinking feeling set in, because I could see off in the distance that it was not on the wall anymore. However, joy filled my soul when I saw this sign that said the Hudson's World War II Memorial was preserved over at Somerset Collection at the Macys. Oh man, so now I really need to go over there and visit it again and just be like, yes, we have it saved. I'm so excited. Thank you, Macys, for saving a part of my childhood. I think that's going to do it here from this old JL Hudson's, now Macys. If you'd like to see more content just like this and support the channel, you can check out the links on screen and in the description box below. I will also eventually be releasing a video tour of the Oakland Mall, so look for that in the near future. But that's going to do it here from the closing Macys in Troy, Michigan. Thank you everyone so much for all your support, and to all of my Tilt Squad members, you are what make this channel awesome. I will see you in the next video.